Does Mira have a hidden tattoo that is visible only once in the movie? All this time, we saw how the girls often change outfits, nail polish, makeup, and jewelry. But there is one detail no one noticed. Recall in the Spicy Challenge, when huntrix are spotted by the Saja boys and invited on stage. First, the girls slide into the ball pool and then have to act politely in front of the fans. But if you pause at this moment, you will notice something strange. While all the girls are covered in jewelry and earrings, Mira's ear looks very different. Inside her ear, you can spot a small tattoo of 4 purple stars that doesn't look like an earring at all. And this tattoo fits Mira's wild nature perfectly and her habit of breaking the rules. But everything becomes clear in the fight scene. When Mira turns her head, we see a light reflection on one of the stars, sadly confirming that it is actually part of the jewelry and not a real tattoo. But if the girls had tattoos, what do you think they would be? Be sure to share your ideas for Zoey, Rumi, and Mira in the comments. But Mira's fake tattoo is not the only detail that becomes confusing if you accidentally pause Kpop Demon Hunters. This is the cutest thing Romance did for Abby, and you definitely didn't notice this before. Remember how during the Saja Boys performance, the guys don't just sing and dance, but they also interact with the fans. We see them helping a girl squeeze sauce onto her corn dog and even handing out gifts to kids nearby. But there's a funny detail you definitely missed. If you pause at just the right moment, you'll notice that when they slide across the ground on their knees to give gifts to a child, Abby's pants suddenly slip open slightly. And while everyone else is holding their presents with both hands, Romance has one hand behind Abby. So why is he doing that? You can notice that Abby is the only one wearing a shirt that's too short, so his butt could easily be exposed. That's why Romance keeps his hand nearby, so he can quickly cover Abby and pull his pants back in case they slip. And did you also notice that the books the kids were holding suddenly vanished? It seems that the Saja boys take the books and leave the presents, but if you slow down the moment, you will notice that the books simply disappear without a trace. But you will be surprised how many other hidden details you could easily miss in the movie. We all remember when the Saja boys first performed Soda Pop, but not many know that you can actually visit this exact place in real life. This is the Myeongdong shopping district in Seoul, and the detail that hints at this is the floor tiles, which were recreated to match the real tiles on this street. But that's not all. By the end of the performance, Saja boys jump onto the giant soda can stage, which recolors the building and floor around them. And if you look closely at the building walls, you'll notice that the graphics and patterns look very familiar. They're actually taken directly from the soda pop can that the Saja boys sell. You can see bubbles, a lion's face, a lion paw, and other small details from the design. Comment below if you dream of visiting Seoul only to see where Kpop Demon Hunters were made. But small hidden details are not the only ones that could slip by you. Did you notice that demons never actually attacked Rumi? Remember, during the final battle, when the world is almost completely taken over by Guima, Rumi suddenly shows up. With the help of Mira and Zoey, they finally manage to defeat Guima and stop all the demons. But here's the crazy part. If you pay close attention, Rumi walks toward the stage and barely gets hit by any demons. Most of the faceless demons focus on Mira and Zoey, while Rumi is completely ignored. And the strangest that even the Saja boys never attack her. So how does that happen? We know Rumi is a half-demon. That's why the faceless demons find it hard to recognize her as an enemy, especially when she's standing right next to Mira and Zoey. But that's not all. If you look at how the Saja boys split up, they clearly divide their targets. Baby and Mystery go after Zoey. Romance and Abby attack Mira. This means the others leave Rumi for Jinu, not knowing that Jinu will switch sides and protect Rumi from Guima. But that's not all the interesting details about Rumi. Don't skip the next one because it will surprise you even more. Did you notice this hidden detail in Rumi's bracelet? Throughout the movie, Rumi is often seen wearing the same bracelet on her left hand. She wears it in the Golden Song video, during the final battle, and even after everything is over. But this isn't just a random accessory. If you look closely, the bracelet has 2 identical padlocks attached to it. And this detail actually means something important. In real life, padlock bracelets are most often worn by couples. The idea is that each person holds the key to the other's heart, and it represents a bond that is meant to be unbreakable. But here's where it gets interesting. Rumi's bracelet has 2 padlocks, not just one like most couple bracelets. And we know that Rumi has been wearing this bracelet long before she ever met or fell in love with Jinu. That means this bracelet was never meant to represent a romantic relationship. Instead, it represents her friendship with Mira and Zoey. We know that among huntrix, Zoey is the most energetic member, but not many understand that Zoey's behavior is not as positive and bright as it seems. All this time, Zoey had a disorder and no one even noticed it. We used to believe that Zoey always treats problems with ease. That's why she quickly finds Dr. Han for Rumi to heal her voice, or creates a dozen other versions of lyrics when Rumi doesn't like the song. But did you notice something really scary? Zoey has a habit of copying the people around her. When the girls see the Saja boys for the first time, Zoey copies Mira's and Rumi's negative reactions even though she actually likes Saja. Then, when Bobby appears in the huntrix room dancing to a Saja Boys song, Zoey immediately copies his movements. And later, when she is alone with the girls, Zoey constantly repeats what they say and copies what they do. But this is not because Zoey is so positive and happy. This is a sign of a psychological disorder, a behavioral pattern where a person constantly copies speech, movements, and emotional reactions. The reason for this is not a normal social habit, but an unstable sense of self. And the saddest part is that even though they spend time with Zoey all the time, Mira and Rumi never react to her behavior and just accept it without trying to help Zoey be herself instead of someone else. Comment below what other details about Zoey you noticed while watching Kpop Demon Hunters. Maybe your detail will be a brand new one that wasn't revealed by anyone before. Huntrix girls keep more secrets than you can ever imagine. For example, you never noticed this about Mira, but it can change everything you know about her. We all know that Huntrix loves snacks and drinks. Right after they finish a performance, the first thing they want to do is go to the couch, rest, and eat a ton of food. But there's one detail about Mira you could easily miss. Among all the members, Mira is the only one who really loves bubble tea. During the fight scene on the plane, Mira calmly drinks bubble tea in front of the demons, and after the show, she brings a cup of bubble tea to the couch. But there's a reason for this. Mira really likes spicy food. Even her signature ramen is called Spicy Queen. Surprisingly, bubble tea is made from tea and milk is really effective in reducing spiciness. This means Mira drinks bubble tea all the time because it helps her reduce the spicy feeling after eating spicy food. But besides Mira's surprising love for bubble tea, you could easily miss one funny fact about another beloved character in the movie. There's a hidden reason Derpy keeps standing things upright, and it'll surprise you a lot. We remember Derpy the tiger as Jinu's spiritual animal. One of its strange habits is that it always tries to put things back up when they fall. Even when Derpy fails, it never stops trying. But did you ever wonder why Derpy does that? Normally, animals like cats or even real tigers love knocking things over. When they see something standing upright, it triggers their playful instincts to push it down and play with it. But Derpy is completely different. Because Derpy is a spiritual animal from the underworld, its nature is the complete opposite of normal animals. So while other animals try to knock things down, Derpy feels a need to put them back in place. Comment lots of blue hearts if you love Derpy and be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. There are still plenty of hidden details about Kpop Demon Hunters waiting for you.